Thank you, Rivers.
Thank you for having me.
First of all, can you introduce yourself to our visitors?
Yes, my name is Rivers Solomon. I am a writer of imaginative fiction across genres and themes.
And which author influenced you?
Many authors, but I think the one that I keep coming back to is Toni Morrison. Yes.
And this year was published in French, Model Home. Mm-hmm. Can you explain us what is the thematic of your book, of your novel?
Yes, so Model Home is a haunted house story with a twist, and I would say the theme is generational trauma, which is the theme of a lot of my books, and healing. That sounds corny, but yes, healing.
And what surprised me at the first point
Mm-hmm.
is why have you decided to write around haunted houses?
Because I love haunted houses. I think that they get at the heart of something that's really scary and terrifying, which when your home isn't safe, which is the place we rely on to be our comfort and something that protects us. So when our home isn't safe, it's something that's inherently very terrifying and scary. And I wanted to write about that, what it's like when home is not our safe place. Yeah.
And one of the key points is the family itself.
Yes.
It's quite dysfunctional,
yes.
We can say that.
Yeah.
A missing father, a mother that is very hard with his children,
Mm-hmm.
and Esri herself that search for his identity.
Yes.
How do you build the character of Esri?
In a lot of ways, Esri emerged out of many different parts, which I think fits with the character because they are very fractured and broken and are trying to build themselves up. And so I used I don't know, I think that all people are made up of many parts and many sides, and so I wanted to make a character who had more of these sides present, or it was more obvious, and so I tried to make a character who was influenced by sort of many ideas and many parts.
And the mother, in the same way, very hard. She wanted to get the kind of legitimacy
yes.
Linked to the social success mm-hmm. they have as a family. And in the same time, I have the feeling that she accepts the difference from Esri, mm-hmm. Accepting his children to hesitate and to find his
mm-hmm.
either on directory. It seems strange.
That's very contradictory. I think she's very hard and has really high expectations of the children to sort of meet this this idea she has of what she wants her family to be, this sort of elite. This elite family, but also I do think she is quite accepting of their strangeness, I guess, and I think part of that is because sometimes I think there are children who are, when you try to make them a certain way, they accept it to some degree, and there are some children who refuse to be molded, and sometimes when you have a child who refuses to be molded, your only choice is to accept it. And I think that the mother realized this very quickly, that if I'm going to maintain any sort of relationship, I have to accept it to some degree. So, yes.
and in some ways, this mother, because I hesitate to say that it's the main character more than Esri in a way, because the family is success, so they decided to be installed in an area where there is only white people.
Yes, yeah.
And even if the area want to reject them, mm-hmm. she say no, I want to stay against the society.
Yes. I think again, she has a very rigid idea of what success looks like that she can't let go of, and I think You asked before about why I wanted to write about haunted houses, and I think one frequent theme of haunted houses is the idea of being stuck or in some sort of loop. And I think that the mother is very much stuck in this idea, in a loop of what life has to be, and refuses to leave despite all evidence that she should. And so I wanted to write about that because I think that that is something that happens to people all of the time. Yeah.
And we discover all the story through, we don't see directly the evolution of Esri in his life. We have a flashback. We discover that the parents are killed, who or what are killed them.
Yeah.
And it must be complicated to build your story around this flashback.
Yes. Because there's also uncertainty, and I think in Esri's mind there's a blending of what's real and a kind of a story that they've told themselves that may or not be real, and finally telling the story is very difficult because I think in many ways Esri is not a reliable narrator of everything that's happened. And so in the same way that they as a person are fractured, the story is a little bit fractured and gets told in these pieces, but hopefully it comes together somewhat at the end when it's all revealed in the revelation.
And another kind of character is a mother of I will take the good name. I will find it. The nightmare mother.
Yes.
And we try to find what is this nightmare mother.
Yes.
Is something that is in your mind? Is it something that you imagine as a bad spirit?
Yeah, I think the way that it is thought of and how Esri talks about it through the story is as some sort of ghostly figure or a haunted figure. But I think throughout the story it's revealed to be people, I guess, or this someone, a person who's done things to them. So the idea of Nightmare Mother is kind of a mythologized figure and made into a ghost because I think that was in some ways safer than the actual truth that it was a person. Yes.
And if I correctly remember, you have Stephen King that has said that it's one of the best.
Yes.
It's something.
Yes, Stephen King said something very nice about my book. That's true. Yes.
Yes, and regarding to because I know that Stephen King is clearly involved politically in the United States, so it means something to the book too.
Yes, absolutely. And what I appreciated most about Stephen King's words is that I don't think he was reached out to at all by my publishers or anything. He just grabbed the book and read it and spoke about it, and so it made me feel very proud because I grew up reading Stephen King, and I do think he's an admirable person who does speak out. So yes, absolutely.
You have several novels that talk, or at least are on the LGBT plus community. Is it important today to highlight differences and LGBTQ plus characters?
I think so, because I think it's our reality, right? And as a fiction writer, even though I obviously delve into the fantastic, I always aim for there to be reality there, that to write a truth. And so, LGBT plus, like that's just, we exist. So we must be in the art and we must be in the fiction because we are here. So yes.
And I find that for this specific one is not the main.
Yes.
Within the story, I have more the impression that you are talking about the trauma of the United States between the different communities. You think that today United States needs to recognize this story?
Yes. I don't know what the United States needs to do. It needs to do something, certainly. But I am beyond having the answers. But I think that a first step is always taking the time to stop, think, remember, and then act based on this pulling of knowledge together, and recognizing our diversity and of experiences, and that hopefully through that we can push back against the powers that be. So yeah.
And what is in a way awful with Model Home is that the other books you have written are more science fiction or horror than this one.
Yes.
And finally this one, without any spoil, of course, is more realistic.
Mm-hmm. Yes, yes.
And
so it's hard. This has been the most difficult book for me to talk about because for reasons of spoilers. But I have found myself. I've always written about all things, but in my books have always had some element of the fantastic or science fiction, fantasy. But I'm a writer that writes all things, all experiences, so that is definitely present in this book as well.
I imagine, unfortunately, that today, as a writer, American writers, it should be difficult to publish today with the context, political context.
Yes. I think actually that people are really, despite everything that's happening, because people remain like hungry for the truth and hungry for stories that speak to them, I think that, there is a place in publishing still to put these stories out there. My hope is that will continue to be the case. So many grants have been shut down though. There are many conferences and things where people can speak have had their funding taken away or have been cancelled for this reason, and so that is definitely affecting the making of art. And it's you can't publish if you can't make it in the first place. So I don't know what effect it will have over the next few years, as there's the domino effect. But my aim is to keep writing, hopefully, and to get the stories out there some way. Yeah.
And you earned some prize, Firecracker in 2018, Hugo nominated for Hugo, Nebula Locus for The Deep, nominated for Hugo for Blood is Another World for Hunger, and World Fantasy Short Horror.
Yeah.
And otherwise a prize for Soroland. What does it mean for you as writer to see your work?
I try to not care about it and be above it, but I love it very much. When I've dreamed of being a writer since I was a child, so it definitely touches me to know that my work speaks to people and is being recognized. And despite wanting to be above it all, I very much appreciate it and I'm full of gratitude. Yeah.
And in France, you have a dedicated publisher because everything is published by David Malmont, Aux Forges de Vulcain.
Yes.
How do you learn that your work will be published in France, and what is your feeling when you see French covers of the?
Only good feelings. I think so. My work has been translated into other languages as well, but with David is the publisher with whom I have the most connection and the strongest relationship, and I feel very honored by the respect that he has for me and for my work, and I feel like it directly translates to how well my books have done here in a way that makes me feel really proud and happy. So yes.
And for my part, when we ask me which book need to be read today to discover a new author and so on, I think very quickly to your books. And and I'm quite sure that I'm not the only one to say that your book bring a new vision of science fiction and so on. Do you think that today science fiction and this kind of literature need to be done to talk about actuality differences?
Yes, I think so. I think what science fiction and fantasy and all speculative fiction does really well is, and I quote this all the time, and it's quite boring, but it's something that Ursula K. Le Guin said, is that science fiction is descriptive, not predictive, and that it shows our world what it looks like. And I think that that's really true. I think that despite it looking fantastic or or futuristic, it's actually painting a world in this way makes more obvious things about our world. So I think it's a really good way to show life as it is, but also on the other hand, it is a great way to imagine other possibilities and to really sort of step into the dream world and ask ourselves what could be. So, yeah. And
a last question for you. You are in the Utopiales. I think it's the first time.
Yes, that's it. Yeah.
And what do you think of this event? Noisy.
Noisy. It's very big and overwhelming. But I've met lots of wonderful people. It's really well organized. I think this is one of the most well organized conferences I've ever been to, especially given how big it is. So yes, all of the stars, 5 stars, 4 stars, however many stars. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.